Pause for a second. Now imagine your body is like a giant apartment building with a lot of water. And this water is not just floating around in one big tank. It's split into rooms with security guards at every door deciding what goes in and what gets out. Welcome back to Badge Off. In today's episode 1 of the Bedside reality series, we'll be talking about fluid and electrolytes. Yeah, it sounds boring at first, but this is actually one of the reasons you don't just collapse every time you forget to drink water for a few hours. Quick question. What percentage of your body do you think is water? If your response is a lot, you're right. It's about 60%. But here's what most people miss. This water is not just floating around freely. It's organized, very organized, like neighborhood. The first neighborhood is the intracellular neighborhood. This consists of water or fluid inside your actual cell. This is like the VIP section. It holds about 70% of your body water, and this water are locked inside your cells, keeping everything alive and functioning normally. Then we have the other neighborhood. The extracellular neighborhood is also subdivided into 3 different compartments. The first compartment is the fluid between cells. Think of it like the hallway space between apartments. Then the second compartment is the blood plasma, which is basically the highway system. And then the third compartment is the tiny portion for specialized areas such as the brain fluid, joints, eyes, stuff you don't think about until something goes wrong. So when you drink water next time, you're not only hydrating your body, it's more like delivering package to very specific addresses, not randomly, but very targeted. Quick question for our listeners. If your cells are 70% water, what happens if that water leaves the cell and goes somewhere else? Think about it. If water rushes out of your cells, they shrink like a grape turning into a raisin. That's basically what happened in some types of dehydration, but we'll get to there shortly. Daily water budget. Your body is constantly doing accounting, trying to balance the amount of water you take in and the amount of water you lose. Let's look at the ledger. Your daily intake might be about 2,300 to 2,900 milliliter. Let's say, for example, through drinking, it's about 1,200 to 1,500 milliliter. And through food can be about 800 to 1,100 milliliter. And through metabolism might be at about 300 milliliter. Yeah, your body literally creates water while breaking down food. And then let's look at the daily expenses, which is the amount of water you lose that goes out of your body. Let's say through kidney, 1,500 milliliter. Your urine, that's a big one. Let's say through skin, sweating, let's say about 600 to 800 milliliter. And through your lungs, let's say about 400 to 600 milliliter. Yeah, through your lungs, as you exhale, your breath moisture, let's say through your bone, maybe about 100 to 200 milliliter. So let's do a quick mathematics. If you're drinking 1,500 milliliter but loses 2,600 milliliters, why are you not shrinking like a plum? That's because the food water and metabolic water are helping to balance the equation, which is why you can't just stop drinking water for days, because the mass will tend to catch up so fast. So a quick question. Why do babies and old people get dehydrated faster? Think about it. Yeah, the answer is based on babies has about 80% water in them, and for older adults this goes down. Don't forget, for an adult we're made up of about 60% water, but for an older adult this goes down to 50 to 55% water. Plus, older adults and babies, their warning system don't work as well. They might not feel thirsty when they should. So this is why if you have a grandma or a grandpa or a child or a baby, remind them about drinking water so that they will be able to maintain the total number of water that their body needs in order for everything to function properly. Dehydration. Now let's talk about dehydration. There are basically 3 different types of dehydration, and they all differ from each other based on patterns. The first one is the isotonic dehydration. This is mainly when you lose water and salt in an equal proportion. Think of it like sweating a lot, vomiting, and diarrhea. Your blood volume drop, but the concentration of stuff in your blood still is normal. Now the second type of dehydration is the hypotonic dehydration. Here's the best one. This is when you lose more water than salt. Your your blood gets too concentrated, that's too salty. The body tries to fix this by pulling water out of your cell to dilute the blood. And in this situation, your cells shrink. This happens with excessive sweating without drinking, or if you're breathing really fast, like in a panic attack or high altitude situation. Then the third form pattern of dehydration is the hypotonic dehydration. This is the sneaky, dangerous one. This is when you lose more salt than water. Maybe you've been drinking plain water after heavy sweating, but in that situation, you're not replacing the salt. Your body gets too diluted and water actually moves into your cell, trying to balance things out. Or rather, in that situation, those water moving into your cell will make your cell swell up. And if the brain cell got swollen, that's a bad news. We're done discussing about the fluid. Now let's talk about electrolytes. Electrolytes are basically charged minerals. They are the bouncers at the doors between those neighborhoods we make mention of earlier. And there are three big electrolytes, and these are sodium, potassium, and calcium. Sodium, this is the boss, no debate, because where sodium goes, water follows always. If sodium is too low, it means too much water is diluting everything, and this can result in confusion, headache, and also seizure in a severe case. And if sodium is too high, it means too much salt and not enough water, which means you are basically too dry, and this can result in things like thirsty, dry, sticky tongue, irritated. Then we have potassium. Potassium is known as the heart's best friend, and this is very important, and this one matters a lot to the heart. Even small change can matter. Too weak potassium will result in weakness, constipation, and irregular heartbeat. And too high potassium is as well also dangerous, as it can result in cardiac arrest, causing kidney failures. Quick question: why can't we give potassium fast if someone needs it? Think about it. That's because the heart does not tolerate sudden change. It has to be slow, careful, control. If it's given too fast, it can actually stop the heart. And that brings us to the third big electrolyte, which is calcium. Calcium is known as the contractor. Each time we hear the word calcium, our mind always goes towards the bone, but calcium controls muscle contraction and nerve signal. Too low calcium can result in numbness around the mouth, muscle cramp, seizure, and muscle can't relax. And too high calcium can result in kidney stone, bone pain, constipation, and also confusion. Now, this brings us to the forgotten electrolytes, which are magnesium and phosphorus. Magnesium is the quiet one, doesn't get that much attention, but it involves in hundreds of processes. Yeah, hundreds. When it's low, it can look like other problems, and some of the symptoms are cramps, twitching, even heart rhythm or issues. But here's the weird part: if magnesium is low, calcium problem often don't fix properly either. They are linked. And quick question: if someone accidentally gets too much magnesium, what's the antidote? Think about it. The antidote is calcium gluconate. Yes, calcium is the antidote for magnesium overdose. They basically fight each other for space in the body. I know that can seem dramatic. Now let's talk about phosphorus, which is another silent one. Phosphorus is the energy one. It's tied to ATP, which is your body energy currency, and it's locked in a seesaw relationship with calcium. When one goes up, the other often goes down. Now let's talk about the hidden water. Let's say, for example, fluid goes into the wrong place. Sometimes fluid isn't actually lost. It just goes somewhere else, like trapped, like in the abdomen, around the lungs, or in the tissue. It's still in your body, but your body cannot use it properly. That's the key idea. And that's what causes swelling, which is also referred to as edema. You press your ankle, it leaves a dent. That's a fluid leaking into space it shouldn't be in. Edema is when fluid leak between cells. You press your finger into your ankle and it leaves a dent. That's edema. Quick question: why do burn victims need so much fluid? Think about it. It's because burn cause massive capillary permeability. Fluid just leak out of the blood vessel into the burn tissue. It's the third spacing on steroid. They look swollen, but they are actually losing circulating blood volume. That's why they need aggressive IV fluid. background. So here's the takeaway. Your body is not a bucket. It's a complex water management system with security guard, which is electrolytes, checking ID at every door. You're losing water right now through your skin, your breath, your kidney. Most of it you don't even notice. And remember, calcium and phosphorus are on the seesaw relationship. Magnesium affects everything but hides in the background. If you see someone's face switch when you tap their cheek, that electrolytes are screaming for help. Drink water, but not too much too fast. Replace salt when you sweat hard. Don't chew magnesium like candy. And if your hands cramp up when someone takes your blood pressure, maybe get your electrolyte checked. And remember, electrolyte decide where water goes. Your body adjusts everything in real time. Most of the time you never notice it's happening until something shifts. So yeah, drink water, but don't think of hydration as just more water. It's balance. Water and electrolyte working together. With this, we've come to the end of today's section. In our next episode, we'll be talking about breathing and kidney, who controls the acid. I have a simple question for you. Yes, you're listening to me. And the question is, how does the body keep its fluid at the right balance? And how does oxygen help with that? You can write your answer in the comment section below, and I will let you know if you're correct in our next section, next Friday. Until then, stay hydrated but intelligently. See you next week.